I called all 3 people.
Okay.
And 2 of them responded, and 2 of them I interviewed.
Okay. Okay.
It's not a committee's responsibility to chase after an application.
No, I just wanted to
No, there was more than
make sure
one
that we
person.
did an interview, because I think we asked that on all of the people.
All right, shall we vote?
You should mention the salary. 1162.
I didn't put that in the
It
letter,
wasn't in the letter. We had it in our bid.
and I apologize for that.
It was 1162 for the first 6 months, and then it goes up.
1450.
And
And
okay.
everybody knew that. Well, that's not true. The 2 people I spoke to knew that. So, and we're fine with it.
It was in the
I
ad,
should've-
too.
And it was in the ad.
Was it in the ad?
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right, all those in favor? Okay. The second master plan committee issue is the RFP. I know that the master plan committee worked with our town attorney at their last meeting on getting the wording and finalizing the shape and form of the RFP. That being said, I would like to make a motion that we approve the RFP so that they can get this out and they can get started, although they have started on their own anyway.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Sounds like you're right.
Is that a comment? Is that a thumbs down comment? Well then, yep, I'd like to take a vote. All those in favor? Okay.
Can I answer the question if you'd like about how we're going to respond to questions? Because it is in the RFP. It's actually stated there. And our intention is also to make sure that everybody has a copy of the procedure. We're going to be doing this on the internet. We have a website established, the committee established a website, and I as the chair will be the only one who's going to have access to questions. The questions will come to an email, okay? And we as a committee will answer the questions. We'll also go to Rita. Everybody who is involved in the RFP and the consultants will get the question, will get the answer, and all that's going to go back on the internet. So it's exactly what Bill said. It will be very open to everybody. There won't be anything that not everybody knows. And the second thing is Rita is going to hold the original RFP and all the bid results, and nobody on my committee is even going to look at them because she's going to be taking them home at night. No, she's not. You can't do that either. But it's going to be a very closed process. So,
In other words, you're going to do it legally.
as legally as I ever learned how to do it. Yes.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
What's your website address?
It's in the RFP, and I can't tell you off the top of my
Okay.
head. It's an example of how a website should be done. I wish I could take credit for it, but Gary Lovett did it. And it's got every single document that's in the RFP is in a PDF form. And anybody can go on it and just click on it, and you can look at every map we have. You can look at every document, the master plan for 1980, the update, everything is on there. He did an incredible job.
It's http://sites.google.com/site/Stanford Plan 2010.
So did everybody get that?
Bookmark
It will be on the town's website as well.
Yes. It will be.
So it will be a link on the town's website, and you will not have to ever remember it.
I bookmarked it because I can't remember that.
Thank you,
It's a
Karen.
great job, and I wish everybody would just look at it as an example of how the process can work. Gary did a terrific job, and he'll be back from New Zealand, and Tuesday we'll see him again, so.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. All right. The next thing under unfinished business is the supervisor's computer. You have information about it. There was a cover letter from Jim Jeffries with his recommendations, which I hope you've read. Jim was the supervisor of Mylan for 10 years on the planning board. He provides a lot of computer help for municipalities. The only thing I would add to this is that our town bookkeeper has an Optiplex that is 8 years old and going strong, that the Optiplex is extremely sturdy and should get a good 10-year life out of it, if not more than that.
Do you have a favorite?
The computer that is currently in the supervisor's office is probably, I don't know, it's from the dinosaur age. I don't know how old it is. It is extremely slow. It processes extremely slowly. It has a very, very small screen. It has strange eccentricities that I don't know how to describe it because there's nothing that's consistent about it. It's eccentricities. But I really do think that the supervisor of a town should have a good computer and a good printer, because I know I use it all the time. I do research on it. I print. I would like to be able to do spreadsheets. I'd like to be able to print up various kinds of materials for the town board and for people. So. If I weren't the supervisor, I would recommend a new computer. I think the computer in the supervisor's office here is not a computer for this day and age, and for the kind of job that a supervisor of a town needs. I listed the ones I preferred right there, but I took Jim Jeffries' advice. I'm not a computer expert by any means. And I put it on my little letter in the front.
We were talking about a scanner last month. I think I don't see, is that in here so we could do some more by email?
It's with the printer, I think.
Is it?
Printer
It's an
scanner.
all-
It's a multifunction, yeah.
Yeah.
Printer
Printer scanner.
It's a multifunction,
Fax.
so it will scan,
That's one.
which would mean the documents could easily be shared.
Mm.
Excellent. And what last month we were saying an original estimate of $1,000 for everything, and this is going to be what, 1,600?
Yes, it's more than that. That's correct. It's 1641.10. I simply I was grateful to Jim Jeffries for his recommendations. His recommendation of the Optiplex is because it is so very, very sturdy. He has put them in most municipalities he works with. And the printer, he had a comparison with an inkjet. The inkjet is $100 less. But Jim's comment, which he didn't write down, but I took notes on, is that the cartridges are $50 each. $105 to replace 2 cartridges, and they last a third of the time of a laser cartridge. And so by his estimate, the inkjet, although it's a little bit less to purchase, costs twice as much per page as the laser, ultimately. And so over time, it's a better deal, if you will.
All right, so the computer is 1,600, and then the printer is...
No, the computer is 1171, and the printer is 470.10.
All right. And, okay, we're required to get